Alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. I hope you all are fine. So in last class we have discussed employee development. Let me go through. So we have discussed the example of the company, how they were planning different aspects of development. We have discussed the introduction, we have discussed the examples, we have discussed the difference between development and training, certain differences. If you want more, as I said, you can go and do some more research, so you might find some other authors writing some different points. So we have discussed why development is very important, the reasons behind development, which we have discussed the same thing in chapter 1 regarding training. So today I'm going to discuss approaches to the employee development. Different approaches are written in different books. Different writers have suggested different approaches in order to use for employee development. There are four main approaches, which is formal education, assessment, job experiences, and interpersonal relationship. Some companies are using combination of them, some companies are using one approach, some companies are using different approaches. So it depends on companies, and depend on countries, and depend on their budget, their availability of resources, different things. So it depends on you which approach you want to use for your company, whether you're having the resource for that approach or not. Do you have a budget? Do you have time? Do you have place? Everything. So as we have discussed in need assessment, so you need to consider all these things. So four approaches are used to develop employees: formal education, assessment, job experiences, and interpersonal relationships. Many companies use a combination of these approaches. A recent survey of use of company employee development practice found that 84% use training other than leadership training, 70% use development planning, 55% use formal coaching, 47% use job assignment, 30% use job rotation, and 25% use formal internal mentoring programs. So large companies are more likely to use leadership training and development planning for frequently than smaller. So we all know what is job rotation, so that's easy. So let's go through. This is an example. Is a company called Hindustan Unilever. Is a company that they are producing more cosmetic product. They are having a lot of employees, so they are having different human resources leader that they are spending time on employees development. So they are using job rotation, taking from one place to another, changing. They are using mentoring as well. So we will discuss mentoring in coming slides. So what is mentoring? So they are using different ways. So Hindustan Unilever is India's largest consumer product company. The company has 15,000 employees, including 10,000 production employees. Each of the company's 45 plants has 3 human resource leaders who spend half of their time on leadership development. So imagine 45 plants, each plant's got 3 leaders. They spend half of their time for what? For leadership development. So you see how important it is for the company. These leaders are directly accountable for hot jobs, hot people. The hot jobs are the 50 most strategic position in the company, and the hot people are the 50 people with the most potential. So you see they are giving leadership development for leaders. So they are having 50 most strategic position. They want that these positions need to be filled by more experienced, talented individual. So if in your organization you see that certain position needs to be filled by a very talented, very skillful, very experienced individual, Why? Because that position affect the whole company. So if that position is filled by an uneducated, unexperienced, unskilled person, so that might fail the whole company. So certain position needs to be certain positions are very critical for a company. So what you do, it play a great role. For example, general manager, zone manager. For example, you're having a, let's consider the example of let's say Etisalat company. They are having zone manager that controlling the whole zone, let's say eastern provinces, controlling Jalalabad, Laghman, Kunar, and Nuristan. If that person is not a well qualified, a well experienced, he cannot control the whole zone. So Etisalat will fail there. So he don't know what's happening. People are complaining in one part. He is not aware of anything. He is not having any communication link with the central office. So that's why certain in this company 50 most strategic position in the company are for 50 hot people with the most potential. So the most potential you are having, they will give you that position or that job. The objective is that the hot people must be in 90% of hot jobs. The goal is to maximize the movement of hot people into the hot jobs. Hindustan Unilever use job rotation and mentoring as development activities. Every year, the management committee meets to discuss the top 20 people in the company. The management committee discuss each employee and his or her development plans. So you see that every year the management committee meets to discuss the top 200 people in the company. So who are the top 200 people in our company? We are having 15,000 employees. So which one we need to be looking for? Which one are the top 200 employees? What they need to do? The management committee discuss each employee in his or her development plans. So what is your development plan? For example, what do you want to be? What skills do you have? So they are considering each and every single point. So first one is formal education. So formal education, we all know that it's like offsite and onsite programs such as short courses, bachelor, masters, PhD. These are formal educations. Universities are having Harvard University, Oxford University, top universities in the world are having different formal education programs that they are giving what we call it involved lecture by business or other. They provide development programs for executives, top management, and others. So formal education program include offsite and on-site program designed specifically for the company's employees. Short courses offered by consultants. So we all know there are different marketing consultants, human resource consultants, different, or universities. Executive MBA programs and university program in which participants usually live at the university while taking classes. These programs may involve lectures by business expert or professors, business games and simulations. So we have discussed simulations. Adventure learning, we have discussed adventure learning in last classes, and meetings with customers. For example, Harvard University offers several different programs for executives, high potential upper level managers and general managers. Example, an advanced management program. Harvard also offer program on managerial issues such as negotiations and program for specific audiences. Example, senior executive program for South Africa. So you see that they are having certain program, so they are providing training for employees. So the companies are sending their staffs, high level employees higher, so in order to go there and attend these programs or attend these workshops or whatever, so they can develop their skills. So they are having, so now the company General Electronic let me see. Yes, General Electric has one of the oldest and most widely known management development center in the world. So this company is having a management center. They are spending over, I think, 1 billion, around 1 billion each year on training and education program for their employees. Each year their employees are chosen, like each year their managers select certain employees based on their performance, based on their potential, based on their talent, in order to attend these programs. So you see, you might find that you are having 500 employees, then you see managers are selecting certain individual that yes, this person is eligible for this program, this person is worth to attend this program, so this person is talented, so we need to send these individual for a certain training programs in the other part of the world. Or you see certain companies are following this policy. So General Electric has one of the oldest and most widely known management development center in the world. GE developed manager at John Leadership Center, which is in New York. GE invests approximately 1 billion each year in training and education program for its employees. Over last 15 years, the 189 most senior executive in the company have spent at least 12 months in training and professional development. In addition to classroom, GE leadership facility. Okay, I'm sorry, let me bring the charger so I can charge this. So every year, GE employees chosen by their manager based on their performance and potential attend management development program. The programs include professional skills development, and specialized courses in areas such as risk analysis and loan structuring. All the programs emphasize theory and practical application. So you see, they are providing certain programs for their employees, based on their potential, based on their skills, based on their vision or mission, whatever they're having. So that's why you see GE Electronic, one of the oldest and most widely known management program. So that's why this company is using this policy for their employees development. So most formal education program actively involve employees in learning separate program or usually offers for supervisors. So we have discussed this. Middle manager and executive social program for particular jobs such as engineer are also available. At this company, the largest manufacturer of large home appliances in the world, the company's leadership development program focus on 12 critical attributes: character and enduring values, communications, customer champion, confidence, developing talent, diversity with inclusion, driver of change and transformation, extraordinary results, management skill, strategy, thought leadership, and vision. So you see that the company is the largest company of producing home appliances, accessories. So they have divided their development program into 12 critical main attributes. So you can see that the companies can divide their development programs into different sections. For example, you want employees development in customer relationship management, in finance, in new technology, and management, different departments. So that's why the company use this formal education. So there is another example which you can see. Xerox Corporation, emerging leader program, ELP, is a 5-month program that includes a 2-hour program kickoff using web-based conferencing e-module that employees complete at their own pace. So we have discussed use of technology in employees training and development. So you can see that this company is following e-models, so they can. We have also discussed their advantages of using online training programs. So face-to-face meetings, online assessment, coaching and mentoring. Employees from North America and Europe have participated in ELP. Each session in the European ELP includes high potential manager from 14 countries who work in different functions and speak different languages. The most challenging part of ELP involves working as a cross-functional, cross-cultural, geographically dispersed team to identify, plan and begin a business project based on the strategic initiatives. Each team presents its result to vice president and executive at the conclusion of the program. So I don't think so I need explanation. It's a very simple point. So we have discussed 2 examples regarding this. So you see that they are having this program for their employees. Xerox, so you know, is a big company. So next one is assessment. The next one, first one we have discussed formal education. That's the first approach that the companies are using in order to develop their employees. The next one is assessment. So assessment, it's clear from the name that the companies they are collecting information. It is basically collecting information, then providing the feedback and the outcome about the employees, different sectors, different parts. So employees different job, like for example behavior, communication style, values, vision and everything. So that's why you see that that's assessment. So involve collecting information and providing feedback to employees about their behavior, communication style, values or skills. The employees as well as their peers, managers and customer may be asked to provide information. Assessment is most frequently used to identify employees with managerial potential and to measure current manager's strengths and weaknesses. Assessment is also used to identify manager with potential to move into higher level executive position. So you do before you're, for example, if you're having a manager and you need a zone manager, then you assess certain manager, then you select one for to become a zone manager. Because of their potential, because of the talent he got, because of education experience you got, he or she got, then you choose them. So what you do instead, you use assessment. So it can be used with work teams to identify individual team members, strengths and weaknesses, as well as the decision processes or communication style that inhibit the team's productivity. So that's called. Companies vary in the methods and source of information they use in developmental assessment. So it depends on companies which they use. Many companies provide employees with performance appraisal information. Companies with sophisticated development system use psychological tests to measure employees' skills, personality types and communication style. These type of assessment can help employees understand their tendencies, needs, the type of work environment they prefer and the type of work for which they are best suited. This type of information, along with information they receive from the company about their performance, from performance appraisal and their potential, can help employee decide what type of development goals might be the most appropriate. So you see that companies are using different psychological tests. They assess the employees in order to that. There is a Myers-Briggs type indicator, which is called type indicator MBTI, is the most popular psychological test for employees development. As many as 2 million people take this test in the United States each year. The test consists of more than 100 questions about how the person feel or prefer to behave in different situations. Example, are you usually a good mixer or rather a quiet and reserved? So there are certain questions, psychological questions. When you give the answer to these 100 questions, then the psychologists, they know which type of organization you prefer, which type of organization you like. They can understand your mentality, the way you want to work, So this MBTI test is based on the work of psychologist Carl Jung, who believed that differences in individual behavior resulted from people's preferences in decision making, interpersonal communication, and information gathering. So you see that these are the tests. There are different psychologist tests that the companies are using in order to find out type of development their employees need. So the assessment center, that's the next one under the educational method. So the assessment center is a process in which multiple raters or evaluator, also known as an assessor, evaluate employees' performance on a number of exercises. An assessment center is usually held in off-site locations such as conference center. From 6 to 12 employees usually participate at one time. Assessment center are primarily used to identify if employees have the personality characteristic, administrative skills, and interpersonal skills needed for managerial jobs. They are also increasingly being used to identify if employees have the necessary skills to work in teams. So these are centers that choose a certain employees from 6 to 12 employees in order to what they can have their personality, their also what skills they have got, their interpersonal skills they need. So the type of exercises used in assessment center includes leaderless group, discussion, interview, in basket, and role play. So in leaderless group discussion, a team of 5 to 7 people, employees must work together to solve an assigned problem with a certain time. So they don't have a leader, so there is a certain problem they give them and they ask 5, 6, 7 individuals to solve that problem. The problem may involve buying or selling supplies, nominating a subordinate for an award, or assembling a product. An in basket is a simulation of administrative tasks of the manager's job. The exercise includes a variety of documents that may appear in the basket on a manager desk. The participant is asked to read the material and decide how to respond to them. Responses might include delegating tasks, scheduling meetings, writing replies, or completely ignoring the memo. So these are assessing, and thus called what we call this the assessment center. Next one, in role plays. So we all know what is role play. We have discussed role play, I think, in other sessions as well. So let's read what is written, so you get some idea again. In role play, participants take a part of role of a manager or other employee. For example, an assessment certain participant may be asked to take the role of a manager who has to give a negative performance review to a subordinate. The participant is provided with information regarding the subordinate's performance. The participant is asked to prepare for and actually hold a 45-minute meeting with subordinates to discuss the performance problem. The role of the subordinate is played by a manager or other member of the assessment center, design team, or the company. The assessment center might also include testing. Interest and aptitude test may be used to evaluate employees' vocabulary, general mental ability, and reasoning skills. Personality tests may be used to determine if employees can get along with others, their tolerance for ambiguity, and other traits relates to a success as a manager. So that's role play. Next one, I think we are having, let me check job experience. Yes, so we are having 3 more slides, so let me go through. Role play, performance appraisal. So we all know what is performance appraisal. So if you are performing a very good job in an organization, they praise you, they give you rating, they give you certificate, they give you whatever. It depends on the company. So performance appraisal is the process of measuring employees' performance. So you know which of your employees is performing well, which one is not performing well, which one is doing his or her rules and responsibility you have given. You observe or you analyze each and everything regarding your certain employees. That's why you see in organization that in some organization you find that these are their what we call it, promotions and bonus, everything is not based on performance appraisal. They are not based on that. They are based on relationships or other problems that they're having. So these things, promotions salary increase. These needs to be based on performance appraisal, how they perform their job, how they behave in the organization, how they respect each other, how much they are following rules and regulation of the organization, and everything. So there are several different approaches for measuring performance. So these are approaches you can use in order to measure performance of your employees, including ranking employees, rating their work behavior, rating the extent to which employees have desirable traits believed to be necessary for job success, and directly measuring the result of work performance, their productivity, their leadership, their traits, their behavior, their desire to work, everything. So you measure each and everything, then you give a performance appraisal, you give them promotion, everything. So this is another. Next one is job experience, as it's clear from the name. So if you're going through different jobs, if you are working in different organization differently, you will develop your skills. So every year your skills will develop, every year you're doing different job or whatever. So most employee development occurs through job experiences. Job experience refer to relationship, problems, demand, task, or other features that employee face in their jobs. A major assumption of using job experience for employee development is that development is most likely to occur when there is a mismatch between the employee's skill in past experience and the skills required for the job. To be successful in their jobs, employees must stretch their skills, that is, they must be forced to learn new skills, apply their skills and knowledge in a new way, and master new experiences. A Dave & Buster is an example, which runs several large volume restaurant entertainment complexes across the United States. The company used job experience to strengthen employees' management experiences. Employees are placed in departments in which they have to cope with real life, such as working with the kitchen staff or dealing with the difficult experience. So you see that difficult customers, so that's job experience. If you need a customer service, you bring him at the front desk and you ask him to how to behave. They learn, develop their skills, how to behave with the customers, how to respond to the calls, how to solve their problems, and different things. So if you need a kitchen stuff, you directly bring them and give them. They are working in the kitchen, they are learning new skills. So that's our development through job experiences. So development through training assessment center, we have discussed development through performance appraisal, development through job experiences. And next one, we are having interpersonal relationship. That's another type. Under this we are having mentoring, and I think there is a others as well, coaching in other class. So there's interpersonal relationship. Employees can also develop skills and increase their knowledge about the companies and its customer by interacting with a more experienced organizational member. So mentoring and coaching are two types of interpersonal relationship used to develop. So employees, mentoring, a mentor is an experienced, productive senior employee who helps develop a less experienced employee. Most mentoring relationships develop informally as a result of interest or values shared by mentors. Research suggests that employees with certain personality characteristics, example high needs for power and achievement, emotional stability, ability to adopt their behavior based on the situation, are more likely to seek a mentor and be attractive positive for a mentor. So you see mentoring, interpersonal relationship, you see coaching. So you need you know that the certain sportsmen, they are having a coach, so that's called why they are having coaches and mentors. So in order to develop their skills, so you're having someone senior management as a mentor working with the lower level management with new employees in order to develop their skills, in order to help them in development as well. So or they are asking certain coaches for diet. You see for sportsmen, they're having dieting coach, they're having sports, they're having certain coaches for different things. So why they're this coaching is because of development their new skills so they can be more competitive. So you see in different sports you find coaches in cricket, in football. Why? So they can win the matches. Why? They are more what we call it, they are more focused, they are more thinking to recruit a top coach so they can have a competitive team. So if you are having a top coach, an experienced coach, a talented coach, definitely you will be having a competitive team, which will make it hard for the competitors to compete with it. So that's why these are interpersonal relationship. Mentoring and coaching are used to develop certain skills. So let me review what we have discussed today. So I think we have discussed this week regarding their employee development. So we have discussed introduction, examples, why employee development is very, very important, the reason behind importance of employee development, and we have discussed employee training before. So we have discussed employees approaches, we have discussed formal education, assessment, job experience, and interpersonal relationship. So we have discussed different approaches. So as we have said that companies are using mix of it. You can use job experience in interpersonal relationship, or you can use formal education with job experience, or you can use assessment with this. So it's a mix up of different, it belongs to, as I've said, it belongs to company which type of method of approach, or which approach they want to use. So we have discussed the example of Hindustan Unilever. So we have discussed formal education. What is formal education? It is very clear from the name. General Electric example. We have discussed Xerox example. We have discussed what is assessment. Under assessment, we have discussed different psychological tests, MBTI, that the companies are using. We have also discussed the assessment center that companies are having. We have discussed performance appraisal under assessment. Then we have discussed what is job experience. So these are companies, employees developing their new skills based on their experience from their previous job or current job. So then we have the last one. The last approach is interpersonal relationship, which is mentoring and coaching. So these are two other ways, approaches that the companies are using in order to have a competitive workforce. So thus these are certain approach. If you are working a company, or if you have your own company, you can use certain approaches in order to develop and have competitive skills. So that's all regarding employees development. Next week I think might record videos regarding career development. So we might have few weeks to finish this course. Still it's very less time we have. So I hope you all are listening to these videos or reading this, so it's easy for you for the exam purpose. And see you inshallah in the next class.